huge card on slate today.
15-game card. It's us versus the bookies. Bases loaded, high noon. It's going to be a showdown.
On a suddenly not so casual Friday, the buy hat is engaged. Will Dustin May continue a career resurgence tonight at home? Will the Rays steal a late-night victory in Los Angeles tonight at the Dodgers? Find out right now on MLB Bases Loaded. It is the Monday show, June the 15th, 2026. I am the Shark. He is Mikey Money. Mike, we're back. What's going on this morning, brother?
Ready to attack. Glorious weekend. Man, we had some fun last night with the UFC. Hopefully you guys made some of that money. We're going to put it to work this week and see if we can't stack the chips high and let them fly. It's going to be a great week for baseball. It's getting the spotlight, the showcase, as they say, Shark, here. We're in the dog days of summer. It's official. Talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's still spring on the East Coast. It's still spring in the world. But, guys, Stanley Cup ended last night. The finals ended on Saturday. It is officially baseball season. We're not taking the summer off. You guys like to bet winter sports. You have no other option. You have to bet baseball with us. And Mike and I were joking before the show. You know, in October, if we parked a truck in front of your house and dumped $100,000 and we labeled it baseball, would you say, you know what? I don't like baseball. I don't want that money. No, you would take that money. Get down in the streets of baseball with us, and let's get down to business. If you guys are in the chat on the East Coast, drop your comments. West Coast, I have my coffee. Get your coffee and get ready to dominate. And let's get into the card on a suddenly not so casual Monday, June the 15th, 2026. 10-game card tonight. Starting in Philadelphia, Marlins-Phillies game one of this series, divisional baseball, fifth game of the year between these teams. They did face off in Miami in early May. The Phillies taking 3 of 4. Only divisional game on the card tonight, Zach Wheeler against Ryan Gusta. Mike, we're opening up. What's going on in this game?
Yeah, you know, it's a tricky spot because you've got the Phillies coming back home after that little road trip series out there, not striking the ball very well either. And you know, you bring in Wheels and you want to expect this guy to go out there and smash it, but it's a big price tag at $2. And it has come down, you know, it's come down about 15 cents or so. You've got tons of buy activity going on with the Phillies right now as well. It's like the Marlins first game of a series are an auto fade, but I think today I got to give a shot to these Marlins here. I don't like Gusto and I prefer the Wheeler situation, but I think over the course of the whole game right now, there's some Philly injuries going on out there that are kind of under the radar. And I think are going to be massive in terms of the impact to the organization as a whole. They're trying to figure out their reliever and closer situations with pitching. They're trying to figure out some outfield situation now. That's just a bad recipe to take a team at $2 favorite. So, yeah, why not? We'll take a shot here to open the card up with a big hammer, a plus 178 on Kalshi, plus 180s at Bet River. Let's go with the Miami Marlins here. Shock the world and take down my Phillies in game one of the series.
Mike, I know you're a fan. I'm going to give you good news for your fandom tonight. Phillies are going to win this game, and they're going to win by margin. But speaking of plus money, I'm going to give you guys the run line. -1.5, plus 108. And, you know, when I was looking at this before, I was friendly reminded of one thing. The Miami Marlins have a pitcher not named Sandy Alcantara, who is their best pitcher right now. Guy named Max Meyer. And what did he do yesterday? He beat Paul Skeens on the road. Mike, I know you're prepping for the MMA show. I don't know if you faded Skeens yesterday, but if you did, you got it right. Marlins off a huge, huge win in that spot. But you talk about the Skeens dynamic. Meyer is really elevated to that 1A status. What do the Marlins do following a Meyer win this year? They're 2-8 straight up, 0-6 on the road. So they do not back up a Meyer win with continued success. And you look at the Philadelphia situation, as I mentioned, 3-1 in Miami in early May. This is where you want to buy Wheeler off a loss. He's coming off of a tight road loss at Toronto. He actually pitched great in the matchup, only 1 earned run on a solo shot in 6 innings. Wheeler is 10-2 at home off a road loss last 12, and he's 6-1 in this spot versus the run line, -1.5, if facing a National League opponent. Philly is 2-1 at home off a road loss. Wheeler's 3-0 at home this year already versus the -1.5. All wins coming by margin. I've been buying the Marlins for weeks. I have the hat. I actually don't own a Phillies hat because I don't like them that much. So if I like them tonight, the data better back it up. Mike, any final comments or keeping it moving?
Yeah, you brought up something that was interesting. I didn't get to see the actual box score. How many hits did Paul Skeens have yesterday? I didn't quite see it.
I think he had one late night. Livy Dunn came over and he had a nice hotel room session with her. But no.
So the only ribeye that went down there was probably something on the grill. He didn't actually put any runs across the finish line.
Believe it or not, yeah, he didn't. We need to get Skeens involved. Actually, I remember watching some tape. This guy hits home runs in high school. Crazy enough, jokes aside, he probably could actually play two ways. Little Shohei Ohtani action here for the Pirates. But I was when I was handicapping this before, I was actually pretty intrigued because, as I said, Meyer has really elevated to that status for the Marlins, and they really are underperforming in starts following a Meyer win. So we will see what happens tonight. It is the first game, only divisional game. More opening tomorrow on Tuesday. But that is that for that one, and we will keep it moving. If you guys are in the chat, type what you're doing in this game with me. If you guys are taking the Phillies, my guy 9 Legacy says Phillies run line, my dude right there. And if you're taking the Marlins with Mike, type Marlins. Let's keep it moving down the line. Next game on the card, we're going to Washington, D.C. Excuse me. Royals opening up a series at the Nats. Tough game for me in this one. You get a starter for the Royals. Mitch Spence has not made a start all year, and Alvarez on the bump for the Nats. Mike, I went into this game. I tried to find something. Real tough game. Anything in this one?
Yeah, I don't want to oversimplify it here, but you got the best offense in baseball against an inconsistent offense at best. Mitch Spence, okay, 13.5 ERA. The guy's an opener. This is not a spot that you want to be back in the Kansas City Royals. And from a Nats perspective here, I talk about their offensively, they're a juggernaut. And then at home on top of that, they find a way to continue to dominate. Now, the challenge is the Nats at home series openers, traditionally, historically, not the best. But if you dissect that, we talk about it all the time, the 1-versus-1 pitching matchup. Well, if you want to kind of maybe put an asterisk on that here, Alvarez is a lefty, so they get a little bit of an edge, I think, there in the lefty-righty matchup. Spence is an opener. He's not going to be the standard or eat up the majority of the innings. And you got this team coming back home on fire, picking up W's while they're doing it. So the Nats for me, minus 130 is about a right size favorite for me. I think it's priced fairly to go out there and still be able to capture and take some cash. Home favorites, winning streak after less than 2 runs are 95-40. They've won 7 straight. And I think this is a good opportunity for us to take some natty ice, baby. Let's take this thing to the bank.
Natty ice. That's a heavy beer right there. Kind of a disastrous beverage, actually, if I'm being honest. But I don't think Andy Alvarez, I believe that's his name at home, Andrew Alvarez, is such a disaster. I would lean that direction. Don't have much in this game, but I will defer to Mike. Nats and let's cash. Keeping it moving down the line here. Mets-Reds opening up a series tonight in Cincinnati. Tobias Myers, that is a bullpen game for the Mets at Chase Burns. Chase Burns becoming one of the best buy pitchers in baseball. He's 7-1. His ERA is under 2.2. I love my guy Chase Burns. Can't say I love this matchup, however. Mike, what's going on in this game?
Man, I'll tell you what, this might be one of the – I hope I'm not off on this series here because the Mets are so due to bounce back and start picking up wins in a cluster. And I don't even want to say bounce back, just bounce in general. Like right now, they fell out the window and they just kind of went thud. They haven't had any bounce in their step whatsoever. And the Reds, dealing with some of them injuries that we talked about, like the Ellie De La Cruz spot out there. But I can't discount them in this case here. The Reds against righties, if they gave up more than 4 runs and start a new series. In other words, they get to reset and recalibrate. And traditionally, the last 3 years, they've been winning at a 62% rate. So give me the Reds in the series opener here against these Mets. And, I think that we'll probably see a margin win, I think, on top of that with the Reds being at home here. But I prefer Burns over Myers. And I think right now with, again, another minus 140, minus 133 over at Kalshi, doesn't seem like it's out of the line here. But I think you could probably lay this run line, too, and expect that if the Mets are flat, you're not going to see anything from these guys. So plus 158 right now on the run line seems like a fair price tag too.
Yeah, as I said, tough game. Burns actually did beat the Mets in Queens 7-2. That was a game against David Peterson. He pitched well. I don't see him pitching poorly by any stretch. Myers is a bullpen opener, I believe. I think you're going to just see maybe 5 or 6 pitchers for the Mets. So, as we always say, the bullpen games are really hard to read just from the standpoint of any one of the 6 pitchers could be either terrible or amazing, and it's just kind of all over the place. Our guy in the chat says go under. I wouldn't disagree. I don't really have anything in this one, at least right now. Maybe I'll give it a second look later this afternoon. But we'll defer to Mike. Reds, and let's cash. Keeping it moving down the line here. Next game on the card, Cardinals-Padres opening up a series tie at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Lucas Giolito at Dustin May. When I saw Dustin May was on the bump, my eyes lit up. I told you guys last week I'm becoming the Dustin May whisperer. Mike, here he is again against Lucas Giolito, two old rivals revisiting each other. What's going on in this game?
Wow, here we got the Dustin May whisperer in the house here. A couple things that I want to try to take a look at here, right? We talked about bullpens, or we talked about the closers, and yeah, the Padres certainly have the market on that situation. And I like that price tag for that reason here. Now, there's considerable movement against him. It's gone from minus 142 to minus 150. You have 31% of the bets, but you do have 58% of the cash on the Padres here, probably buying this number. A couple things. I think we probably see a lower scoring game in this one as well. I don't expect to see any kind of offensive explosion. It's set at 8.5. So we talked last week about those key numbers, 7, 9s, and 11s, and there it is kind of sitting underneath there. But I am going to take Dustin May to go out there and put some pitches across the plate here, get some K props going. And excuse me, sitting at 4.5 right now. Mighty generous number here. You know, when you look at it overall, we talked about last week, the San Diego Padres not showing such command and plate discipline out there. And then May, his last 4 starts, you want to talk about being the whisperer. He had 6 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, and he had a 9-pack twice. So the 26.8% strikeout rate for the San Diego Padres does not instill confidence. Doesn't mean I want to take the Cardinals, though. I'm not talking out of both sides here. Dustin May is only going to play so many innings, and at 4.5 strikeouts, I'll take that number, but I'm also going to take advantage of the San Diego Padres here. Plus money price tag. Let's go.
You know, interestingly enough, when I was handicapping this, I noticed that the Padres were coming off of back-to-back wins over the weekend in Baltimore. That's interleague play, AL East. The only other time this year they did that, they beat the Red Sox twice, Saturday and Sunday. High-scoring Sunday game with Walker Buehler on the bump, 8-6. Very similar to what we saw yesterday. They did travel to the NL Central for a Monday series at Pittsburgh. They beat Pittsburgh in that game 5-0. But here's where the entire environment shifts for me. That was German Marquez at Bubba Chandler. Marquez is in the minors right now, not because he couldn't pitch on the road. He actually had 0 earned runs against in 10 2/3 innings pitched before getting sent down on the road. So that game for San Diego was Marquez. This is Giolito. And Giolito is not a road pitcher. He's 3-0 to the over. The totals are absolutely skyrocketing. 6-4 at Philly. I gave you guys the over in the previous game at Philly. It did get there. He went way over at Seattle, 8-3, and his only other start in this window at Washington, 7-5. And really nice pattern here to fade Giolito tonight. He's coming off a home start against Cincinnati last Tuesday night. He did lose in extra innings, 5-3. Key point, though, he labored in the game, only 4 innings, and had 5 walks. And that's been a problem for this guy this year. You got to go back to Saturday, May 23rd. He also had a really low-scoring home game against the Athletics, where he labored with precisely 5 walks against in 5 innings pitched. His very next start was a road start at Eastern Time, the game at Washington. 7-5 win over, and he did labor in that game significantly, only making it 2 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 home runs against, and 4 earned runs. I think you're going to see a lot of runs in this game. Dustin May has been far better on the road in this window. I'm not entirely sure why. He has struggled at Busch Stadium. My top look in this game is going to be the over 8.5. I think Giolito on the road is an auto over, and I think May will struggle a little bit more in this game. Mike, any further comments or keep it moving?
Let's keep it rolling.
Absolutely. Next game on the card, Rockies Cubs in Wrigleyville tonight. That is Wrigleyville, the region of Chicago. I love that city, Wrigley Field. Michael Lorenzen at Shota Imanaga. This is a rematch of a game from last week. Interestingly enough, a pitcher's duel between these two guys at Coors Field. Mike, we introed that game last week, and we said Lorenzen can't pitch. Imanaga is throwing home run derby every start. And then all of a sudden, we get an extreme under 3-2. When I was handicapping this before, I said to myself, at some point, Imanaga is going to improve. I guess he has. Lorenzen is all over the place. What do you have in this one?
Yeah, well, just factually accurate here is that I told you guys that was an under game and that Imanaga was going to lose. So look dialed in there in Coors. I don't like that it's an immediate rematch, though. That does kind of give me a little pause. I think Imanaga should come back at home, but minus 219, the books obviously aren't concerned about this whatsoever. I would probably have to lean to the over. Couple things here. It's Wrigley. It's not a 7. And we've seen both these pitchers can certainly go out there. 7.54 ERA on the Lorenzen side, and then Imanaga. I expect Imanaga bounces back. I just don't want to put $2.19 on it. So I would have to take the over 9.5 here and kind of wonder what's going on with that wind.
Yeah, this is a really tough game for me. When I was handicapping Michael Lorenzen before, I honestly thought to myself, this guy is like on 5 different prescription drugs. Because it's like he changes his cabinet every day. You have no idea what this guy's going to do. He either gives up no runs, basically, or he gets totally rocked. It's not necessarily road or home, weekend, weekday, matinee. It is such a scatter plot of unpredictability with this guy. As we said, he just looked great against the Cubs. 1 earned run at home last Wednesday. So does that mean he's going to come into Wrigley and get shelled? Probably. I mean, I don't see the Cubs getting aced by this guy 2 consecutive starts. Imanaga did find something at Coors, but at Wrigley, he has given up 8 home runs. Excuse me, 9 or 4, 3, 7, 10 home runs in his last 4. I'm doing a little arithmetic here on a Monday morning. Got to get the sharpened mind going here. But that is a lot of home runs. That is 2.5 home runs per game last 4 at Wrigley. The Rockies could continue their upward momentum, but just shout to the chat. This is the big caveat in this game. The Rockies just scored 23 runs yesterday in Las Vegas. How are they going to bounce that? How are they going to back that up? I don't really know. I mean, they don't ever play in Vegas. They don't ever score 23 runs. I saw that was the most runs in franchise history. So you talk about a one-off here. I have no idea what the Rockies are going to do here, Mike. Like, I'm kind of just running around it, but I have no freaking clue. What did you get for this game?
I got the over. I like to see some runs. I'll tell you what, not just the over, but, again, I talked about the 9.5, and sure enough, you guys, without even looking at what that window is doing, and guess what? It's kind of blowing out to the right. So, yeah, that's what we see with Wrigley. Now, I'll tell you what, though, you want to try to find some positive opportunities here. Hunter Goodman, this guy's been pretty stellar on the Rocky side of things, regardless of, again, the outcome here with the $2.20 favorite. I think that we can see, Hunter Goodman got homered again the other day. Everybody homered yesterday, right? For this Colorado Rockies team, but Hunter Goodman's a good candidate to go out there and do it. Frankly, I just don't like Imanaga. We talked about Imanaga in this big spot and this big price tag, and it's just not the good situation here, but you can catch 3-1 the odds for Hunter Goodman to knock a home run in here. So I like it, but I'm going to take the over 9.5 official.
Yeah, I'll defer to you on this one. I'll watch and I'll learn, but probably won't learn much because I think Lorenzen is a different person every day of the week. So anyway, take the over and let's cash. Keeping it moving down the line here. Next game on the card, Twins at Rangers, opening up a series here early week at Globe Life in Arlington. It looks like a bullpen game for the Twins at Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore looking great at home, heavy price accordingly. Mike, what's going on in this game?
Man, I hate this game. I don't like I wanted to get there with the Texas Rangers, but again, look at this number that you're dealing with now. And it's just not as consistent a squad that I want to be backing right now. So I just, Mackenzie Gore at home, we probably should be the go. We saw this Paradis guy go the other day, and he went 3 innings. He only gave up 1 earned run. So, the deal, though, we go to Globe, we go to the under. We see this thing sitting there, and yeah, this is one of them spots here. Unders, we talked about this as we did some recaps the start of the season. Not so glorious when it came down to it, but Texas Rangers, home field. Paradis, if he does 3 innings again and gives us 1 run, should put us in that position. I would say, though, caution. Texas Rangers seem to get runs in that first inning, and then everything kind of locks down. So under 8 is sitting at minus 105 for this game here. I think that's the best way to attack it.
Yeah, this is certainly pricey. I think Gore deserves it. He has been great at home. His only home start this year against an opponent from this division, he did beat the Royals 9-1 with emphasis. My only hesitation here is we do get the Sunday night baseball travel dynamic for the Rangers. They did play last night at Fenway Park. catch a 6-4 win with Nathan Eovaldi on the bump. Mike, I don't have data in front of me, but that is definitely a sell environment, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, coming off of Sunday Night Baseball and travel. Honestly, we don't really have much in this game, guys. It's an overpriced Texas win. I don't see Gore struggling, but the bats might be flat coming off of Sunday Night Baseball. Tough game, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card. More out-of-division baseball within the American League. Tigers traveling to Houston open up a series tonight. Troy Melton at Kai Tang. Interesting game here. Mike, I have a hat on. What's going on?
Boy, I'm looking forward to seeing what that hat has to say here, because I don't have much to say about this game. We saw the Tigers kind of rushing some Scooble factor in. Was it just 5 weeks after surgery? And the guy was out there trying to go fire it up and get the squad the dub. And at the same time, the Astros, they kind of stink, as favorites against the AL in the road dog spots out there. The AL does thrive, and it's not an Astros situation. It's not an Astros environment for me here. Following a 6-game roadie. This is that double series on the road. Guess what? Teams are tired. You got to look at the Tigers. You got to look at Melton to go out there and melt down this Houston Astros batting lineup.
I agree. It's a beautiful hat. It's a beautiful Monday. It is the NBA hockey offseason, people. It is baseball season. Wake up. The buy hat is engaged. Taking Detroit at plus 113. It really is great stuff here. You look at what happened last year between these teams. Detroit dominated. They were 4-2 in the matchup. I think it continues 4-0 last 4. And I think Detroit really is just a great buy team. Obviously, we've had this conversation numerous times, but it really is just such a strong point of handicapping this team. They started out last year great. They faded. They started cold this year. Now they're showing momentum, coming off of back-to-back losses and a rainout yesterday, which I actually really like for this handicap. They've been underperforming in the division on the road. They're actually 0-5 last 5 divisional road games. But you got a day off yesterday. Maybe they didn't want more of the Cleveland dynamic in Cleveland. They were getting their ass kicked. They couldn't hit. And now they get a refresher. They get to come back out of the division in this same window. The Astros are actually 4-0 last 4 road out of the division. And very noteworthy stuff. Actually swept the Tampa Bay Rays in their last road series out of division. I gave you guys the Tigers in that series 2 out of the 3 games. And I did give you guys a Troy Melton victory at Tampa Bay 7-2. This guy's a great road pitcher. He's in his first season as a full-time starter. He was in the bullpen last year. He's gotten some burn here due to some injuries. You guys got to remember, Verlander was actually supposed to be in this rotation. He's been on the IL the whole year. Casey Mize is hurt, but this guy is great on the road. Less than 1.0 whip on the road, 12 hits, 6 walks in 20 2/3 innings pitched, only 4 earned runs. And I told you guys in the last game, Kai Tang was going to go on the road to the West Coast and get shelled. He did. He's not pitching particularly well at home in Houston either this year. I think he will get hit early and often. And Melton is 2-0 on the road this year as a significant dog, a total ace. Absolutely final point in this handicap. Run differential in this game is absolutely fantastic to buy the Tigers. The Tigers are currently sitting 13 games under 500 at 29-42. Their run differential is only -12. The Astros are 7 games better, 33-40, -39. 7 games better, 27 runs worse. I'm selling the Astros here. Great spot for the Tigers. Take it and let's cash. Keeping it moving down the line here. 3 late night games. First one, 9:40 in Arizona, Chase Field. Angels traveling to the Diamondbacks. Walbert Urania at Ryan Nelson. Great dynamic here. Nelson coming off an absolutely terrible start. Mike, what's going on here?
Yeah, and that's where we want to kind of take the focus and zoom in a little bit here. Ryan Nelson, when he's at home after getting burned, he's 8-2 in the last 2 seasons in bounce back position. So now you have to evaluate it and say, well, what do we got going on with this Angels side and back-to-back home series? In fact, the Astros and then the Tampa Bay Rays, and they fared very well, this Angels team. I was able to catch some nice plus money spots out there, and we gave you guys the Angels back on Friday. So look, certainly kind of see what they're doing and what they're not doing out there. And you got to take advantage here. Now, the Diamondbacks, we've talked about them as that first game of the series at home situation. But again, we can marginalize or we can neutralize that because we're looking at the fact that we've got, the bounce back position for Ryan Nelson. And Then if you want to start looking at offensively, what do we have to worry about when it comes to this bat side of things on the Angels? Really not much. Zach Neto, 3 at-bats, 2 hits for a 667, but outside of that, nobody really has any kind of sustained success against Ryan Nelson either. So no reason not to suspect that he goes out there and does the job. And in fact, it's just kind of that contrarian look to say, let's take him on the first 5. Everyone sees that he had struggled last start. He's not going to have a good go at it here. And I disagree. The numbers tell us the exact opposite situation takes place here. So minus 120, I think it's minus 122 right now is the best number you can find out there on the Diamondbacks. But then the first 5, could get a minus 125. Why not? Even take a look at that run line. I think that the Diamondbacks at home can get out on top of these guys early and stay there often.
I agree. The buy hat is engaged. Take the Diamondbacks on the money line. And Mike, you're giving all the great details. I'll just jump off it briefly. But this is just really where you want to buy Nelson. And we look at the dynamic. You're dropping the data. I'll just drop the psychology. His previous start was in Miami. Miami is a very unique city. For those who don't know, it's a party city. A lot of beautiful people, a lot of distractions. My guy Ron Nelson from the West Coast, from Vegas, went to college in Oregon. I didn't know Miami was going to be his kryptonite, but it certainly was. 7 earned runs in the game. Very unimpressive, but let that be what it is. It was an East Coast game. It was a total one-off. This is where he will bounce back. Also, a really nice dynamic to buy this guy at home outside of the division. He's actually 0-3 at home in this spot this year. Key point, all as an underdog against Nolan McLean and the Mets, Kevin Gausman and Toronto, and against the Atlanta Braves. So you see an 0-3 sample, and books make him a favorite, and it is for good reason. You want to fade Walbert Urania on the road. I've been telling you guys to buy Walbert for the last month at home. This guy's 5-2 at home. He's 0-3 road, all outside of the division, all as an underdog. Absolutely fantastic numbers for this handicap. And if you look at the splits, Urania at home this year, 8 earned runs in a pretty big sample, 39 innings pitched. Go on the road, only 14 2/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs. He's 22. He just doesn't travel well. He's undersized. He doesn't know these ballparks. There's no familiarity. He's going to get hit early and often. And the Angels are coming off a competitive series against the Rays over the weekend at home. They're 2-8 in series openers road outside of the division. This is an absolutely elite handicap, total alignment. The Shark and Mikey Money, the buy hat, is engaged on a Monday. Take it and let's cash. And Mike, we got a video.
We sure do, guys. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. If you're watching us live, appreciate you taking the time out of your day. If you're watching us on the replay, say hey to us by leaving a comment out there. And more importantly, smash that thumbs up button if you like the content and you enjoy. You're making money with us. You like the format, the process, the style. All we ask you to do is throw a thumbs up out there and show some love.
Appreciation, always appreciate it, guys. If you haven't dropped a like on the video, do it right now. Get undistracted, and let's continue the conversation. Next game on the card, 2 more late-night games here, 9:40 in Sacramento. Pirates opening up an early week series against the Athletics. Jared Jones at JT Ginn. Notice I said in Sacramento, not Las Vegas. The A's coming back home off really a big week in Vegas. Now they got to resettle in Sacramento. Mike, I think the psychology of this game could be a little flat for the A's. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. This is one of them spots where I'll take the Pirates. We'll fade away on Skeens because he's not hitting the ball very well right now. Oh, in fact, he's not hitting the ball at all. But JT Ginn for the win, man. That letdown, certainly still feeling that one against the Cubs there in that epic 9th inning blow and meltdown here. But I think we could probably see a little bit of a pitching duel. For being a coin flip, as far as the numbers are concerned, you have 58% of the bets and 52% of the cash all coming in on the Athletics, but it's come down 14 cents, 15 cents. In other words, they're making it more attractive. So yeah, I think that's exactly it. Environmentally speaking, Shark, and I'm sure you'll touch on it here. You leave in Vegas. You just watched 100 runs get zipped out there over the course of the week. Probably a little bit of the Vegas hangover. Going back into an over ballpark, and you've got what should be, I think, a pitching duel here. Jared Jones got the bump. They got the nod. He got the the thumbs up sign that he's going to be part of the long-term solution for the Pirates. So he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself. And I think at this rate, at this price tag, plus 113 again is one of them situations where it's like, do you want to go out there and count on, the Athletics to put up a bunch of runs and then maintain the lead in this travel environment? No, I don't want to do that. So I'll take the plus money with the Pirates.
I agree. Getting the buy hat going here, guys. A beautiful print it is. Throwback to the early 1900s. If I can get this hat off my microphone. The buy hat is engaged. Love this print. Let's take it and let's cash. Our guy just tipped us $100. The vibes are immense on this beautiful Monday. Cashing 20K at the Harrah's window. Let's run it back and cash the Pirates. Just go in further details. This really is a great psychological handicap. You want to fade the A's coming off the Vegas week. I'm sorry. Anybody buying the A's is missing the psychology of human beings. You go to Vegas, you play a bunch of games, tons of runs. It's Vegas. It's like I said, when Nelson went to Miami, it's just an environment. It's a party. Now you come back to Sacramento. It's just a letdown spot. And it's really a nice spot to buy the Pirates. The Pirates are coming in here cross country off of a loss yesterday. But notice what we said in the previous discussion involving the Pirates. It was a Paul Skeens loss. So as much as we want to sell the Marlins in that spot, we want to buy the Pirates in the game after a Skeens loss. They're actually 6-2 this year off of a loss by their ace. So what happens with the Pirates is, and Mike knows this very well, they don't really show up for Skeens. It's actually really kind of bizarre. I'm not sure if he ostracizes the group with, the girlfriend, the contract, all this stuff. They just don't really produce for the guy. But in the game afterward, they definitely look around and say, I can't believe we lost another game for Skeens. He's now lost 6 in a row, believe it or not. And they come back with emphasis. And I think the psychology for Jared Jones precisely is actually fantastic here as well. Jones was hurt all last year, but this year he came back in May. He's 3-0. He's 1-0 on the road. And beautifully for us, it wasn't a divisional game in the NL Central. It happened to be precisely at an AL West team as an underdog right in this range. Thursday, June 4th at Houston, 5-1 win, totally dominant, 0 earned runs, only 74 pitches in 5 innings. He's got a pitch count going. He could have easily thrown 7 shutout innings in that game. This guy's an ace. He was projected to be top 3 in the rotation before some of these other guys elevated last year in his absence due to the injury. He will be totally locked and loaded. And absolutely final point on this, you talk about psychology and environments. Jared Jones is from California. He's going back home. He's going to be fired the hell up to pitch in this game. I think the Pirates could win by some margin. Mike and I both love it. Take it and let's cash. Final game on the card.
Before we do that, my man, we do have to stop and shout him out here. We appreciate the dono. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the positive vibes. My man comes out here. Cameron Sedette says, fuck y'all know about cashing 20 grand at the Harrah's window on a MFing Monday. My man, Cameron Sedette. Big dog shit right there, brother. $100 dono from our guy, helping us build and grow this community and coming in here, blessing us with them vibes, man. Starting the week off on the right foot. Shout out to you, Cameron Sedette, my man. Hopefully you're making some good cash, brother. Keep it going.
Great example of abundance theory right there. You go out, you produce yourself, you make money, you spread wealth, people grow, high energy exists, massive appreciation, guys. We're not about, canceling people and shutting down everybody. We want to win together, grow together, and it benefits everybody. Much appreciated. And let's talk the last game of the card. Final game of the card, ESPN National tonight, Rays at Dodgers. Nick Martinez at Eric Lauer. Pretty inflated line here for the Dodgers. Lauer is 2-0 with the Dodgers, both on the road. First home start. Mike, what's going on here?
Man, Lauer. Everybody was hating on this guy. He's a pile. He's worthless. He's washed. Toronto doesn't want him. And the Dodgers, they recycle, repurpose, upcycle, whatever you want to call it. And they're getting their money's worth from this guy. Probably, not my favorite game on the card. I was just kind of looking at the number at minus 156. Like, even the books don't have a ton of love for this guy, but the price is pretty high there. If you look across the other books outside of Kalshi, minus 166, minus 170s. Our guy Martinez is on the bump on the other side, so it's hard for me to fade. I like this Martinez cat, and then ultimately, look, does a great job in his last 8 from a strikeout perspective. His velocity's up, throwing the ball hard, throwing it with purpose. The Dodgers WRC plus is up. So this is a tough one for me. I'd have to defer. I probably see runs. I would say we see runs in this game, but I'm going to have to take a little bit more deep dive into this as the day progresses, because it's hard for me to get away from, my guy and Nick Martinez. Yandy Diaz is a monster. Probably a great spot for him to get yardstick against Lauer. He's got plenty of success or experience, being that they were both AL East adversaries. And I just plus 150 on a Tampa Bay Rays team that's kind of getting dogged right now. I think it is a sneaky looking spot there. Scott says the Rays are a sneaky play tonight. I agree with that. I think it's runs, and I think it's Rays.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still working towards the Rays, but I do think the Rays are the right side in this game. I think what we said yesterday about some of these games do translate into today. The Rays were flat for most of the weekend at the Angels. They were tied late in the game yesterday before a 5-run explosion in the 8th. I think that's momentum. And they're not really traveling here. They're just going cross town. So I think they keep that momentum. And I think that the travel is very comfortable. I think they'll be ready to go. And I think it's not so comfortable for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are coming off a big weekend series in Chicago, lost 2 out of 3. I don't think the Dodgers are playing great ball here. And I like selling Lauer in this spot. Lauer has found some efficiency on the road with the Dodgers, but now he comes home. It's his first home start. I think there's a little more pressure there. And even though he's a 31-year-old, he's a veteran, he's been around, these guys feel pressure, and sometimes it's not good. This is championship pressure for the Dodgers. I think he will struggle here. And I think Martinez is just performing well in this spot. He had 2 starts last year against the Dodgers while he was pitching in the National League with the Cincinnati Reds. In neither start did the Dodgers really just dominate this guy. He got into the 6th inning in both starts, limited earned runs against. So he has good matchup data versus this lineup. And final point on this, Martinez this year on the road has been great. He's 5-1 on the road, 3-1 road out of division. And if you go through the lines last year, these teams did play in early August last year in Tampa Bay. The lines in the series with the Dodgers on the road, -130, -130, and -160, should come up a little higher for the Dodgers. This is a Tampa Bay line. I'll go with it. I think plus 150 is a nice number, Mike. I'll give them official. Take Tampa Bay at plus 150. Any final thoughts?
I like it. I think it's a good look.
Absolutely. That's 38 minutes, and we got best bets.
Let's go, you guys. Shout out to everybody, man. Happy Monday. Ready to rock and roll with you guys as we look to lock this card down and make it a profitable week here, middle of summer. June 15th, summer solstice right around the corner. Can we get that cash and stack it up nice and high before the turn of the official summer here in the U.S., Shark? I think so, man. I got the Nats. Give me -127. I will take the Padres plus 138, the under 8 in that Minnesota game at -105. And take the Arizona Diamondbacks. Give me the Snakes, -122.
All right, I got 3 buy hats for you guys. We're taking the Tigers at plus 113. Collaboration with Mike, Diamondbacks -122. Pirates plus 113. And we'll go the late night special for a 4th one. Rays plus 150.
Big dog stuff there for a suddenly not so casual Monday, Shark. Mm-hmm. Huh? Fucking I'm stealing your talk track, my guy. Let's go with let's put a little parlay action in play here. Let's take that over in Colorado. Take the over 9.5. What do you think here? Right. You want to go with Cincinnati Reds? Take down the Mets?
I don't love that one, actually. I think Burns, I don't know. What about the over? I handicapped the over in the Cardinals game. Giolito's 3-0 to the road over. Dustin May far worse numbers at home, 8.5.
All right. Go over 8.5, over 9.5 Colorado, over 8.5 St. Louis, and then let's bring her home with let's do this here. Let's add Wheeler strikeout prop into there. It's not something that we kind of cross over that often, but it's a smaller card, and I really do like his numbers today at 6.5 strikeouts here. By the way, did you know, speaking of and going back to that game here, turns out Wheeler in this price tag never lost a game. I think he's 18-0 out there for that Philadelphia Phillies, but I think he can go out there and handle the strikeout business here. Let me see what the official line is for this guy's K prop right here. That's a funky little switcheroo there. Normally we're playing, plus 105 on 6.5 as well. That should make it a nice little nice little buy opportunity out there. So we'll put the official parlay together and tweet it out to you guys when the timestamps are up. So you know what's going on. Shout out to my guy, Cameron Sinnett, with the big dog dono out there. All you guys tuning in, charging up the batteries for a suddenly not so casual Monday, Shark. I'll be back at 5. We'll talk a little, whatever's left on the board. WNBA. We'll talk some World Cup. We'll talk about maybe some more player props as well. Nerfies and Yerfies, sharp betting report. And we'll be back here to do it again tomorrow at 12 p.m., Shark.
Yeah, absolutely. Big card tomorrow. We got 15 tomorrow. The whole league's opening up. We got White Sox traveling to New York. We got Davis Martin on the road at Garrett Cole tomorrow, guys. Get excited for the Tuesday show. But we're excited to be here now. It is Monday. And really, it is the last Monday of the spring. Mike said it's the summer. We're getting into the summer later this week. It certainly feels like summer. NBA Finals and Stanley Cup over. It is baseball season. If you guys enjoy the content, please make sure you drop a like and a comment. It does help to spread the content across the internet. That is it for this one, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. It is MLB Bases Loaded. The Monday show, June the 15th, 2026. For Mike, I'm the Shark. Stay fast, stay strong, stay disciplined, and let's dominate.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.